Okay, so today we're doing more quadratics using the completing the square, but it's going to be complicated. So we're lesson 23. We're actually going to skip all of this and we're going to go directly to page 666. Now, all the ones that we've done so far, if you've noticed, every single one of them has a 1 for the a value. This just makes it a little more complicated, but it's not too terribly bad. So we're going to start off looking at these two right here. And if we notice on those two, they have a 2 in common. Now we don't want to take out the x, but we do want to take out the 2. So if I take out the 2, I'm left with x squared minus 4x close parentheses minus 7. Awesome. Now what I want to do is I want to erase this. Give myself a little bit more room. I want to complete the square inside the set of parentheses. So I want to do completing the square here. So I'm going to add this. Well, if I add something there, that means I have to add something here. And if you notice, this would be 2 times this number. And so on this left-hand side, I'm having 2 times the c value. Well, if I do that, I have to have 2 times over here. So let's try this. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. I did a very bad job at that. Didn't mean to erase it. So my c value would be negative 4 divided by 2 all squared. So c is going to be negative 2 squared, which is 4. So this is going to be a 4 here, but it's multiplied by this 2 that's out there. So that's going to be 2 times 4. So I take the 2. I have x minus 2 all squared minus 7 plus 8. So 2 parentheses x minus 2 all squared plus 1. So really and truly, this is the only new part. So let's do number 7. Okay, again, we're going to just look at these first two that are right here. And we're going to take out the 3, x squared plus 4x plus blank, parenthesis, plus 4 minus blank. What number am I going to put right there? If you guess 3, you're correct. Because this 3 right here, I have to have that 3 over there. So hopefully you notice that it's basically the same thing here, that this gets a 4. So I get a 4. So I have 3 parenthesis x plus 2 plus 4 minus 12, 3x plus 2 squared minus 8. Again, it's in vertex form. The whole point of this is to be able to put it in vertex form. Okay, so let's try one more time together. So I take out a 4, x squared minus 6x plus blank plus 3 minus blank. Okay, hopefully you know that the 4 goes right here. So my c value is going to be negative 6 divided by 2 all squared. So this is going to be negative 3 all squared. So that's 9. I'm going to put 9 in those 2 spots. So I would get 4. I don't want to do that. want a different color. I have 4. I get x minus 3 squared plus 3 minus 36 and 4 x minus 3 squared minus 33. Now if you don't understand this completely, that's fine. Just please go ahead and rewind and watch it again, because I want you to do these next 3 on your own. Okay. So number 9, we take out a 7 and making sure I have a 7 over here. Since 2 is my b value, I divide it in half and square it and I get 1. So I have 1s in this spot and this spot. And then I simplify it. Number 10, I take out a 5. And since I took out a 5 right here, I must have a 5 right there. Half of negative 4 is negative 2. Square it and I get 4s. I simplify it. This next one, I take out of 2. Out of these first 2, I take out a 2. Half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. And so I have 9s here and here. Okay. I just had to make sure. Here we go. Now, if you notice, it says right here, each expression from 611 have been rewritten in an equation. So all we're doing is taking what we had here and putting it right here. So let's look at these. I already did them. So if I look at this, this is the same thing as number 6 on the other side. So what is the vertex of that? Well, it would be 2 and negative 15. Then number 7 is the same thing as this one. So what is the vertex for this one? It would be negative 2, negative 8. Number 15, it's the same thing as number 8. So 3, negative 33 would be my vertex. So the whole purpose of doing this is just to have the vertex form. Okay. Now, I actually want to show you, we're going to go to this page right here. We're not going to do this part. I want to come up with an equation for you. Let's see, y squared plus 10y equals 9. And we want to solve this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a 2 out front to make it more of what we're doing on this. So if I took out a 2, I would get y squared plus 5y plus blank. Now remember, because it's on the other side, the 9 is on the other side of the equal sign, we're just adding on. But you have to remember this 2 right here needs to be multiplied by whatever my c value is going to be. And hopefully by now you've got the c value down. So 5 divided by 2 squared. Oh, that's not going to be pretty, is it? So that's going to be 25 over 4. I definitely should have picked a different problem, but that's okay. So now I have 2 y plus 5 over 2. Oh, really should have picked a different problem. 9 plus 25 over 2. So now this is the same thing as saying 18 over 2. 18. So that's going to be 43 over 2. Whew, that's ugly. And do you notice I forgot my squares? Okay. So I'm going to divide or multiply both sides by 1/2. I picked a hard one for, well, it's not really actually even hard. It's just it's fractions and you guys hate fractions. I take the square root. Actually, I just write in this color. Y plus 5 over 2 equals plus or minus. Now, we can't take the square root of 43, so it's going to stay on top. But we can take the square root of 4, so that's 2. Look at that. They have a common denominator. That's so awesome. So I can write it -5 plus or minus the square root of 43 all over 2. Okay. Awesome. I hope this helps.